Hello, Boda. How you doing? How you doing today? And you hear me fine? Hope you're having a great day. Uh, it's going all right, but it could be better. I just want to apologize for the lack of content again. I am looking for ideas for videos, but right now I am currently playing through Mortal Kombat as much as I can, and I do think I have enough to do a review. I think I've played it through enough of it to have an idea of where I would of how I would rank it. And on top of that, I was thinking about doing a video kind of going over each of the primary 12 Mortal Kombat's in the standard store and the standard lineup, and going over what I think is like the worst fatality in each one, and then I'll do a second video maybe going over my favorite fatality in each of those games. I actually have quite a lot. Because I was kind of a bit surprised with how Mortal Kombat 1 turned out. So I do apologize again. It's just creative block, trying to come up with ideas, and timing. And I'm definitely trying to get all this done probably around next Monday or Tuesday because I know Cyberpunk comes out and I know that's going to consume my life for a while. So, but thanks for coming in. Yeah, just trying to keep myself busy. I just like stopped playing Mortal Kombat like 30 minutes ago. I'm right now doing Invasion. I have three characters I'm drawn to that I'm playing the most, and this is like the first Mortal Kombat in a while that I feel like, okay, I have a good feeling about certain characters. I actually want to get really good with these characters. I'm not saying so much like top tier pro level, but definitely could take down like the average player and maybe above average player. Like that's kind of my goal for this Mortal Kombat. What do I think of Chevy Chase in his movies? Chevy Chase? I'm not familiar with this film, so you might have to name a few for me to get an idea. Alex Mercer versus Cole McGrath is happening. Yes, I already know. I saw. Um, I have an idea who they're gonna have win, and it won't surprise me. But heck, this is heck. I'm not even upset because multiple people had done that matchup before me. Several people have done that match after me, so now if they want to tackle it, that's perfectly fine. If you could bring back someone from the dead, who would that be and why? Someone from the dead. Hmm. Jesus Christ. I don't know, so he could see how screwed up the world is. Imagine the mass. Imagine what would happen if that did happen. It's like I actually resurrected Jesus Christ. He's alive, and all these religious people start going crazy. It's like, what? He's actually alive and he's mortal. Like, imagine how many people would try to assassinate him if they felt bad. Like these people from other religions. Like that's what I would do. Just see what would happen. Not that I have no interest in Jesus Christ, but like I just want to see what happens. I'm just curious. I want to see how long he lasts in this time period. Just an experiment. Uh, how am I enjoying Mortal Kombat 1 so far? I just finished the campaign. I'm really enjoying it, and I gotta admit, I went into that game thinking I was gonna hate the ending. It's amazing how understanding a story and context can affect your viewpoint because me getting the ending spoiled, it looked completely awful. But then once you play through the story and you understand how you got to that ending, I was actually very much surprised. There were definitely a number of surprises I didn't see coming, and I actually really like the story. It's definitely the best story that NetherRealm has done so far, despite the fact that it goes in a certain direction that I think is kind of like out of popularity right now. So I feel like they're late to the party. So part of me kind of wishes they didn't go down this direction, but I'm okay with it. I hope they kind of get out of it soon by the next game, but like it's from what I've seen so far, it's all right. What's up? What I'm doing great, Vengeance. How's your day going? What is my favorite type of materia? Uh, Ultima. I mean, you can't complain with Ultima materia. National Lampoon Vacation and Christmas Vacation. Oh, those kind of films. I mean, they're okay, but I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of them. I think I've seen them, but like I can't relate to those films because I didn't have a family like that. I don't know. I feel like when you watch family films, there's like something about that family that has to kind of resonate with you and your experience with your family. And we were never like that in any form. Like my dad was not like that. My mom was not like that. My siblings were not like that. I wasn't like that kind of people. Like, there's a lot of things that like normal families you do that we just didn't do. Have you played Megatron Rainfall? You will blow up planets in that game, and the gameplay is not the cutscene and not the gameplay like other games. Uh, no, I'm actually not familiar with that game. I've never heard of it, to be fair. Neat, sounds good. Thanks, Anthony, for stopping in. How far am I in terms of campaign? Oh, I finished that. I finished that like last week. I'm right now working on Invasion. I'm building up 3 characters, and I'm trying to get good at them, and it's a little bit hard. It's a little bit hard to get used to because it's like I don't know how these professional players can like be consistently good and just know how to work every single character. It's like I kind of like to keep it simple. It's like you stick with these are 3 characters that I got to experience through the campaign. These are the characters that I felt like I could understand most. And right now, I'm just kind of sticking with these 3 characters, and I want to get good. I want to get good for them really good. I want to complete Invasion first before I go online and I start taking on people. I kind of want to know what I'm doing first. That's kind of my goal right now. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just playing through Invasion right now, and I think I'm on the 2nd world. So yeah. If I could join a band from history or still active this day, whether rock band, rock, metal, etc., what band would it be? Probably Linkin Park. I don't know what position I would be, but definitely Linkin Park, no question. Hey, what's up, Zach? How you doing? I woke up around 5 p.m. yesterday and was playing Persona 5 Royal until 11. Heck, I've had moments like that. Like, trust me, when you are really into it, like, dude, I got back, like, I got home at like 2:30, and I was just playing Mortal Kombat just to go through Invasion. And before I knew it, it was 6 o'clock. And I think that's the problem with my work schedule is that like, is like I come home so early, I play, and then I go to sleep, and I wake up so late that I hardly have any time to work on content. It's just like, well, do we want to play games and get through them as soon as possible so we can actually make content, or can we work on that a little bit? Like that's what I'm going through right now, which is why we're having 2 jobs has been like a real challenge. How am I doing, Zach? I'm doing okay today. I just wish I had more time to get things done because they recently changed my schedule. So, like, literally right now, I'm working every single day in some capacity. I'm either working 6 to 2 or I'm working 10 to 6. I do not have a day off anymore. We just fired a guy, and that screwed up everyone's schedules. Like, because we have a certain position at our job, at like my primary job, that like would have made things easier for me, but like they didn't stay there long enough, so that we fired him after like 3 weeks, and now that messed up all my schedules, so my schedule got re-switched again immediately after I got back from vacation. So that's what's going on with me. I was so positive that my schedule was gonna get easier, and it just got harder. The only good thing I can say out of this is that I'm getting paid like 20 hours of overtime. So, that's a lot of money. How would I rank the Defense Against the Dark Arts teachers in the Harry Potter series? Like from best to worst. Well, I'd go with Professor Lupin because he actually taught some things that were useful. After that, all the other ones are bad. Like Lupin was the only good one. It's like you think of Professor Quirrell. Well, he had Voldemort in the back of his head, and we never actually got to see him teach. Professor Lockhart. Well, he was a fraud, so he wasn't teaching anything that was any useful. I would say Professor Moody, but that wasn't Professor Moody. But surprisingly, he was effective though. That wasn't Moody. And then you go Dolores. Oh dear God, Dolores. Oh my lord, Dolores is worse than Voldemort. I'd be more scared of her than Voldemort. Voldemort's like, okay, I can deal with that. Dolores, oh my god, this woman. Ugh, she could outdo Voldemort in terms of being awful. And then you have Snape, but then again, we never actually got to see Snape teach, and they don't really talk much about that in the books. So it's really a toss-up. All I know is Lupin's at the top. That's all I can say. These days in Resident Evil, you're okay with them turning a bit more towards realism? And no, I don't know. I don't like the remakes. I mean, 2 remake was okay. I just didn't like the first third. The third one felt like a DLC, and then I just did not like 4. Like I played the demo, and I knew I wasn't gonna like 4. Like if if I had played 4, I would have given it like a 5 or a 4, which is nuts because the original is a 10. The original is my fifth favorite video game of all time. So to go from that to a game I don't even want to play, that says a lot. Which video game universe would I live in, and which would I rather visit multiple universes? I guess Kingdom Hearts, because then I could do both, because then I can visit multiple Disney worlds. But I would stick to Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Past that, I'm okay. I'm almost halfway to the mark of the New Game Plus, though. Okay, that's great. Have fun with that. I'm really enjoying this game. It's a lot of fun. Well, there's a reason why Royal is my favorite PlayStation 4 game of all time, and it's in my top 10 favorite games of all time. I know that. Persona Royal. And that I would say that's probably my second favorite JRPG behind only Final Fantasy X, which is really good. So, yeah. Resident Evil Remake is a complete masterpiece. Hey, that's fine. If you guys like the remake, that's fine. I just thought it was trash from what little I played. Like, it was crazy. Like, I played the demo, and I was like, this doesn't feel right. And then I played the original, I was like, okay, this feels right. And I think I would have given the remake credit if it could adapt the controls to OG Resident Evil. Like, if you could play it in that style, just with the improved visuals. I think I might have given it credit for that, but it didn't. It felt more like this. Resident Evil 4 remake, from what little I played, it felt more like an action game than Resident Evil 6. And that was like the biggest complaint a lot of people had with Resident Evil 6. Like, if you played as Chris, that was easily just a pure third-person shooter. And Resident Evil 4 remake felt more of a shooter than that game, so that tells you a lot. At least it was to me. Persona 5 rivals Kingdom Hearts 2 in terms of being like, hey, Kingdom Hearts 2 is also a masterpiece. I love that. It's just amazing that was the peak of Kingdom Hearts 2, and like past that point, no one knows what the hell is going on in this franchise. I don't even know. I don't like any Kingdom Hearts fan who tells you that they know they understand everything that's going on is lying. They're lying if you think they can explain what's going on. Like, even people who I've seen make like analysis videos of the franchise, like if you ask them point blank to explain the entire plot without having to go to an encyclopedia, they probably wouldn't be able to tell you. Like, in terms of like what is going on, I could explain to a child what happens between 1 and 2 and maybe Chain of Memories. Past that, I don't know what the hell's going on. like you're making a franchise for kids, and it's so complicated that even adults who were kids when the first games came out can't understand it. Like, that's when you know you're messed up. Thoughts on Beetlejuice coming out soon? We'll see what happens. I don't know. Hopefully it's good. What do I think of Metal Gear Solid, the Metal Gear Solid gun? I'm not familiar with that. It's been a while since I played that, so you might have to refresh my memory. Am I excited for Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation 5? Dude, if you saw my reaction, my review of PlayStation State of Play, like, dude, I've already pre-ordered it. It's good. We're good. Don't need to see it. I've already pre-ordered it. They already have my money. So, I'm good. I'm going to get this. I'm going to play it. It's probably going to be a contender of Game of the Year, but it's probably not going to get a higher score than the original Spider-Man because they still put on Peter Parker that stupid face that makes him look like Tom Holland, and I hate Tom Holland, Spider-Boy. Like, that's my biggest complaint. It's like, at least give us the option to switch his face. It's like, God, I hate his face. I'm sorry. Nothing against the face model, but like I hate that face for Peter. That does not look like a veteran Peter Parker. That looks like a Peter Parker that's starting out, which is crazy. And I hear they might be doing a Resident Evil 5 remake next. Why? Like, why would they do that? Like, apparently everybody in the world but me hated that game. So why would you want to remake that? Like, I feel like that game was made for me because I love Resident Evil 5. It's like my second favorite Resident Evil game. But apparently everybody hated it, despite the fact that I think It may still be the best-selling Resident Evil game of all time by now. Still, I may be wrong, but for a long time it was. So something's going on here. What do I think you would invent to benefit human? I don't know. I don't think humanity can be saved at this point. I really don't. Zach, you got your first car a while back. Oh, really? What model did you get? I remember when I got my first car. It wasn't long after my dad passed. I got a. If I remember correctly, it was a two. Let's see. Dad passed in 2016, so I got a bronze 2014 Nissan Altima. I would ultimately trade up to get the car I have now. But that car did get into an accident, but I did get it fixed. But I wasn't even in the car when the accident happened. It was parked, but that's a different story for another time. Am I looking forward to Spider-Man 2 despite okay, I'm probably late. But yes, I'm good, Cinemat. I'm good, Cinemat. I already got it. I'm already going to get the game. Trust me. I will get this game, and I will probably enjoy it. What's up, Winter Ghost? How you doing? Which side would win in Navi from Avatar or Terminator or Xenomorph? Are you asking me who do I think is going to win? Navi or Terminators or Xenomorphs? I guess Xenomorphs, because if they use a bunch of face huggers and affect the Navi, I mean, dear God, you get a Navi Xenomorph mix? Good God, that sounds scary. You just walked into the rant, neat. Glad I could entertain you. Favorite Dragon Ball Z character of all time? Dragon Ball Z, GT, Super, and movies. All of them would be Vegeta. But since Vegeta was not in Dragon Ball, I would probably go with Krillin. I'm not going to be generic and just say Goku all the time. I'm going with Vegeta. I gravitate more towards the person who's not the main character for a lot of these franchises. What is my favorite overall Mortal Kombat Fatal Blow in terms of not only aesthetically, violently, but as well as much gory? Favorite Fatal Blow? Man, that's a tough one. Because they only started introducing Fatal Blows, I'd say Mortal Kombat 10? I really don't know. No, again, like when it comes to fatalities and fatal blows, this is something I'm going to do a video about. I have to go through all of them. I can name like some of my like already favorite fatalities off the top of my head because they really, really stood out. But yeah, not fatal blows. Walked in the rain. To me, Resident Evil Remake 1 is very good. Resident Evil 2 Remake is really good. Resident Evil 3 Remake really felt like a DLC. And laugh out loud, Resident Evil 4. 3 did feel like a DLC. And I was shocked how much they took out. Like, that's what I didn't expect. It's like, you would think with all these improvements, you want to expand it. But no, they ripped out entire sections of Resident Evil 3 Remake. To the point where, like, you could beat the game like in 4 hours. I was like, what the hell is this? It's from Metal Gear Solid 4. The tornado gun. God, like, dude, it's been a while since I've even played Metal Gear Solid 4, so I do know I got that gun. But it was a little bit crazy how you could summon a tornado. So I think it was a cool gimmick gun, but a little bit way overpowered. What is my favorite palace in Persona 5 Royal? Oh. I think my favorite palace, I don't remember what the name was, but it was the palace that was located on that luxurious cruise liner. But it was like half a cruise liner and half a palace. I just forget whose that was. But that's the one I spent the most time in. No, the one with the casino, the one where it had the casino, and you actually had to gamble a little bit. I just cannot remember whose palace that was, but that's the one I liked the most, just aesthetically. And I think by that time you had the whole team together. So. I felt the same way. Time travel said that it was confusing. Which game do I think deserves too much hate and which doesn't get enough hate? I I don't know, because it's all a matter of opinion. So a game I personally hate, some people might not hate it, and some games that I really like, some people might like it. But the choices that I would pick, I've never heard anyone else say that, so it's hard for me to point one game out. Which RPG franchise do I like more than Final Fantasy and Persona? Oh, that's easy. Metal Gear. Easy. Metal Gear. I mean, trust me, I like Persona. I like Persona 5, but I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite franchises. Like, it wasn't until like many years after I'd played Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal that I even went back and played the fourth and the fifth one. Like, I had the fourth one on a PSP, on a PlayStation Vita. I did. So it was nice getting ready to replay that again. And then I played a little bit of 3, but I haven't really finished that one yet. No, Final Fantasy would to this day still remain my second favorite franchise of all time, under only Metal Gear, which is kind of similar to what I have now, which Metal Gear Solid 3 is my favorite game of all time, followed closely by Final Fantasy X. Like, it holds. Probably want to improve all the AI for Sheva and the enemies. You know, the funny thing, a lot of people say that. They hate the AI for 5. But here's the thing. When I was playing as that never happened to me. Like I would say the only thing I thought was annoying was like Sheva was not smart enough to mix herbs to save up space. Like I had to do them for him. So I had to transfer the herbs that she picked up to me, combine them, and give them back. It would have been nice if Sheva could mix items together. But like anytime I was like low on ammo, or if there was something I was missing, she would detect it. Like if there was an enemy behind me, like heck, she would turn around and start shooting. It's like I wouldn't have even known that. And there have been several situations that I've played where like Sheva knew what to, like I was playing with another human and neither of us knew what to do, but Sheva knew what to do. The AI knew what to do. So like I didn't experience it at all. Now I will say that when I played as Sheva, the AI for Chris was really bad, but it wasn't the other way around. But I gotta understand people's frustrations. Which horror slasher, human, spirit, robot, alien am I most terrified of? Probably Xenomorph. Yeah, I would definitely be scared of a Xenomorph. If I saw a Terminator, I wouldn't be able to identify it until it was too late. But if I saw a Xenomorph, I would shit my pants. I'd be like, oh god, I'm screwed. I just hope the Xenomorph killed me and didn't try to capture me from me being impregnated. I would prefer a Xenomorph just kill me right there than capture me. Ugh, that would be a horrible fate. I love Resident Evil 5, and it's excellent. Wow, so there's 2 of us. There are 2 people in the whole world of like 7.6 billion people that like Resident Evil 5. So I guess we have a game that we both share. What is my favorite female singer? What is my favorite song made by that artist? Damn. I would... Damn, that's tough. That is really tough. I actually prefer not to say. Yeah, I want to keep that private because it's I don't want to say because I'll feel embarrassed and it's hard for me to explain. But I prefer to keep that to myself out of respect. But thanks for the question. Thanks for the interest. Shiva needs more love and attention. I mean, dude, I agree, but like she helped take down Wesker. She's 50% of the reason Wesker is gone. So like, give her credit. Like people pretend she doesn't exist. Like she's like Chris didn't take out Wesker by himself. A Rave or a Toyota? I'd go with a Toyota. What is my favorite palace? And I just answered this question. It's the casino one. My favorite palace in Persona 5? Yeah, it would be the casino, easily. Yo, Ghost, love your versus videos. Thank you, I appreciate that, even though I don't make them anymore. I actually had someone commented on one of them yesterday, and he asked if I was making any more. I was sad to break his heart telling him that, yeah, I don't do those anymore. I have been curious. There are like 2 matches that I have like this itch to do just for the sake of it, and then it's like one feels like the proper continuation to a story, to a match I started, and then the other one is like it's a match unlike anything I've done before. I've seen types of its kind be done that were really well, but like no one's doing it, and it's like the perfect matchup for me to do. Almost to the point where I feel like I almost kind of wish the matchup idea I would prefer that to be my last match because it would have been grand. It would have been the biggest matchup I've ever done, and it would have been a one of a kind. Alright, favorite book? Sun Tzu Art of War. I would say it's my favorite book. Doesn't deserve. What is my favorite place to go every time you awake a heart in a Persona 5? My favorite place to hang out at? Hmm. I liked the dart bar that you could hang out at. That was always fun to go to. I was always really good at that. I was killing that game. Nicole Thompson, Jill's RE3 actress, played RE5 OG, and she likes many of the bits. Like, say, Jill, don't just trust your partner. Okay, I didn't know that happened. RE5 Remake did get a lot of content separate ways. It's dropping tomorrow. But, here's the problem with that. The thing about it is that when you bought OG RG Resident Evil 4, you got all the content. You don't have to pay extra to get it. Like, think about that. Like, anything that was extra, you have to pay extra for. Like, you already paid $70 for the game. But what, you got to pay like another $20 for separate ways? What, are you going to have to pay like another $20 for I forget that one mission where he plays Ada and you're trying to get all these samples? Like, are you going to have to do that? Are you going to have to pay extra to get like all these characters in mercenary mode? Like, dude, you got a full effing game in OG Resident Evil 4. You didn't have to be extra. Like, when you paid your money, that was it. I just feel like we're in this stupid age where they're trying to milk out, like, sometimes it's warranted, and sometimes I just don't think it is. That was Queen's sister's place. Yes! Yes, that was. I just can't think of her name. She, the detective. Yeah. Do you think Sheva deserves more attention, or should we just focus on the main ones? No, I think Sheva should get more attention, absolutely. I think it's she's placed. Yes, it is. Was Resident Evil 3 Nemesis a perfect end to the Raccoon City saga, or how would I have ended it? No, I mean, the city got nuked. I don't know how else you could end the Raccoon City ending. It got nuked, and very few people got out. So that's a good ending to me. Do you plan on buying Persona 3 Remake? Maybe. I don't know yet. I do not know. I have played the original 3. I just haven't gotten fully through it. But I'm on the fence on that. What is my opinion on Cloud and Sephiroth being on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? I don't know. I've never played Smash Ultimate. The only Smash game I've ever played was OG on the N64. So I have no opinion if they throw in whatever character into a Smash game, because I've never played a Smash game. So I can't really say. Dead Space 2 is my favorite game, even if it just needs a remaster, not a remake. I agree. Remaster it so we can play it. So I can play it on PlayStation 5. You don't have to remake it. It is perfectly fine the way it is. Like, it's not even worth it. I could understand why the first one could use a remake, but the two still holds up. Like, if you want to remake it, remake the third one, or give us a Dead Space 4, because the story did not conclude at the end of Dead Space 3. They left it very much open, so I think this positive interest in the franchise hopefully would encourage them to go back and maybe do another Dead Space 4. Or finish the story. Like, that would be my hope. I like Resident Evil 5 as well. Hey, Zach, now there's 3 of us. So it's me, Rodin, and Zach. We are the only 3 people in all of human history that like Resident Evil 4. Or Resident Evil 5. I think that's great. The 3 Musketeers of Resident Evil 5. If I were a Phantom Thief, what would I choose my codename to be? If I could pick, hmm, I think my codename would be Congo, and I would wear like a tribal gorilla mask, or at least something like that. Like something like what uh, Die Hard Man wears, like a mask like that, but gorilla style. I'd be called Congo. I like that. Basketball, football. I like football more. I think I'll be honest. I think if I'd been a little bit more interested in sports when I was younger, I would have wanted to play football. I'm not tall enough to play basketball. I'll say this. This might be offensive. If you're not at least 6 foot or 6'2", you shouldn't play basketball. You shouldn't even try going to the NBA. I'm sorry. Like I know there have been like a few people that are like less than 6 feet that play in the NBA, but like they've never been any good. And like their skills have never been defined by how good they were. It's been defined as, oh wow, they're so short. Look at how they compete with these men that are like so much taller than them. Like trust me, basketball is a tall man's game. You can be a short guy and be very very useful in football. There have been many guys that have been under 6 foot that have been super effective. My favorite player of all time, I'm the same height as him, and that made me even happier that I was the same height as him. He retired. He retired not too long ago. But like I was like, yeah, if you're not 6 feet tall, you can be a pretty good running back or wide receiver. You can be really good. And in very 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 few cases, if you're lucky enough and skilled enough, you might even be able to make a good quarterback. But not in basketball. If you are not 6 foot or 6'2", do not even consider going into the NBA. I think even now, I think there's maybe the last time I checked, there's like 3 guys in the entire NBA that are under 6 feet tall. I believe. I don't know if that's changed, but like, yeah, basketball is a tall man's game. That is a fact. Unless they make like a minor league and it's like, okay, the only way you can get in this basketball league is you have to be under 6 feet tall. That would be interesting to see. Despite Resident Evil 4 being the better game, I still like Resident Evil 5. Hey, now there's 4 of us. Which horror human killer am I most terrified of? Probably Michael Myers. I would be really creeped out of him. Jill also played her part with Wesker's death. Remember, without her, she wouldn't have the info and wouldn't win. That's true. Yeah, Jill did play a role, so yeah, I give her credit. What type of bugs am I most afraid of? Oh god. It's when it comes to bugs, it's not so much the bugs, it's when they kind of catch me off guard. Like if I see a cockroach from like 10 feet away or a bug like 10 feet away first, I'm okay. But like if I literally like turn my head and there's like a bug like right here next to me, I'll freak out. Like if I see it coming, I can deal with any bug, regardless of the size. It's just I don't like them being so close to me and me not seeing them coming. That's when I get freaked out. Or if they land on me and I don't even notice it. Like maybe like I'm like just working and there's a spider on me and he's like right here and I didn't even notice he was there until I turned my head. It's like that would freak me out. But I think that would freak anybody out. Well, Ryan does it. What's my favorite Crash Bandicoot game? I'm not a fan of Crash Bandicoot. I was never really a fan. Which fighting game series is my favorite? It's Mortal Kombat, of course. Trust me, I'm not committing treason. There's only 2 fighting games I play really, and they're both NetherRealm, and it's Mortal Kombat and Injustice. Like I haven't even touched a controller that was connected to a Street Fighter game since '96 when I went to arcades as a kid. Like I feel like if I touched a game controller that had Street Fighter on, I would be committing treason. That's why I don't touch Tekken. I don't touch Dead or Alive. I don't touch King of Fighters. I'm not a traitor. I like sticking to one type of fighting game and sticking to it. Now there have been a couple of variations that have been a little bit different, but like no one talks about them, so I feel okay to play them. But like no, I'm sticking with Mortal Kombat and NetherRealm. I am not a traitor. I believe in loyalty. Not sure what kind of Jedi Master you would be. Well, wait a second. What kind of Jedi Master you would be to your Padawan? I wouldn't want to be a teacher. Too much pressure. Dead Space 2 doesn't need a remake. It's fine the way it is. I absolutely agree, Daniel. Do I prefer cats or dogs? I can do both, but I prefer dogs. No question. In fact, when I get my first place, 100% I want to get a dog. I will. If I cannot live by myself, I will go insane. My code name would be Shroud. I would wear black clothes and a long. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. Who is my favorite GI Joe character? I don't really have one. I'm not really a big fan of GI Joe. Between Devil May Cry and Uncharted, which franchise do I think has the harder puzzles to solve? Devil May Cry or Uncharted? Maybe harder puzzles. I would say probably Uncharted. I don't think Devil May Cry's ever been known for its puzzles. I mean, I know it's Capcom and they're known for puzzles, but yeah, when I think back to like all the Devil May Cry's, I mean, I'm not sure they're considered like puzzles, more like obstacle courses. They never felt like puzzles to me. But well, Uncharted, those were puzzles. So yeah, I'll probably go for Uncharted. Which enemy in Metal Gear would I team up with if I had to choose? What enemy would I choose? I wouldn't mind teaming up with. No, Vamp's too crazy. Fat Man's too unstable. Maybe Fortune? I think Fortune might be okay to team up with her big ass railgun. Based, Mortal Kombat and Soul Calibur are two fighting games I grew up playing. That's great. Heck, I totally even forgot Soul Calibur was a thing. When was the last time a Soul Calibur game ever came out? Like, do they even make Soul Calibur anymore? If I was part of Phantom Thieves, my code name would be Phoenix. Oh, that's an awesome name. And I would wear an Indian. Wow, that would actually be really really cool. Imagine if Devil May Cry had a oh, that would be really interesting to see aesthetic visually. I think that'd be cool. The only two fighting games I've ever played was Mortal Kombat and Soul Calibur. Okay, well at least I'm glad to know you're a Mortal Kombat fan too, like I am. What kind of breed of dog would I like to get? My preference would be a husky. I think personally, I would only get a husky if I had a family. I think huskies make great family dogs. Right now, my goal is to get a type of terrier that I can take with me if I ever go on trips. I think that's that's what I want to stick with. Like, I think over the course of my life, I would like to get at maximum 3 dogs, and I would move up in size with each one. So right now, I'm trying to go for a terrier, specifically a Boston Terrier, and I'm trying to see if they're allowed to be in little cases that you can take with you on planes and not be put under in cargo. I would never want to do that. So yeah, I definitely would like my first dog to be a type of terrier. I want to start off small, and then as I get older, I move up in size, so I could eat. So yeah, I think a husky might be like the dog I would have to like my last days. Who is my favorite Mario character other than Luigi? Toad. Easy. What is my favorite level from Super Mario 64? Ooh. I would say the first Bowser fight level. I think that one's my favorite. That one always sticks out to me. In fact, I actually played that level while I was at my brother's house, while I was over there. If you could give a potion to make someone live forever, who would I give it to? Someone to live forever? Jeez, that's tough. I wouldn't give it to anyone. I don't think anyone wants to live forever. I don't. Well, that's crazy. How crazy? I wouldn't. You know what? I take that back. I would give a potion like that to Plato. And for some of you who don't know that, he was a Greek historian. And the reason I would give him the potion is that with him being a historian, he is very good at writing down history. And so if someone like that could live forever, he could constantly keep writing down human history and be able to explain it for future generations. And I think that's good. Because I'm a big history buff, and yeah. So that's who I would give that. I think Plato could, or Herodotus. Herodotus is also a decent historian. A little exaggerated in his writings, to be fair, but yeah. Who is my favorite movie director? He's as easily Christopher Nolan. They released Soul Calibur 6 a while back. I wasn't aware. Which ending in Injustice 2 do I think is canon? The one where Batman beats Superman, obviously. I mean, the story, that's the canon ending. Which Resident Evil enemy would I just shoot up straight, no questions asked? Would I shoot at sight? The Iron Maidens? Those things are easily in the top 5 creepiest. And tough to kill if you don't know what to do. Like, you're screwed if you don't know how to deal with those things. My Mortal Kombat mains were Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Sun-Zero. That's a nice name. Or Mac. Well, currently in Mortal Kombat 1, my main 3 that I'm using are Liu Kang, Li Mei, and Baraka. I really like Baraka. I was surprised. I'm surprised how well I'm doing with Baraka and how much I like him. I'm surprised. Speaking of Mortal Kombat 1, your main is Spawn from Mortal Kombat 11? Really? Oh. Yeah, I thought adding Spawn was a great collection. Do you believe the Alien movies needed any prequels? But can you say Prometheus was really a prequel? And I didn't really see Alien Covenant. I'm not sure that, I mean, just because they technically happened before, but can you call them prequels though? Because even though their stories take place before something, it doesn't have a direct connection to the events. Like put it like this. If you made a movie for Star Wars and you set it in the Old Republic, would you call that a prequel to the prequels or the originals? You wouldn't say that. There's so much time because nothing that happens in the Old Republic really has an effect on the current Star Wars. It really doesn't in any way. So I don't really think you can call Prometheus and the Alien Covenant prequels. My main fighters were Noob, Raiden, and my favorite MK Day-Cell character was Freddy Krueger. Yeah, he was pretty cool. Favorite anti-hero, video games, comic books, etc. Blade and Punisher. Anti-hero, I guess Virgil. Virgil would be considered an anti-hero too. I definitely want immortality. Really? Would you really want that though? I mean, I'm not sure if there's a movie called Death Becomes Her with Bruce Willis, and he's given the opportunity to kind of be immortal, and he explains at first why the idea of being immortal sounds good, but in execution it's horrible. Like he went on this rant saying, you know, what am I gonna do? Like, you know, what happens if when I get too old? What happens if I get shot? Like, I'm gonna have to. The worst part is I'm not gonna get older, but everyone else is, and the worst part is I have to watch everyone I ever loved or cared for die. Would you really want to see that? If you had any kids, would you want to continue to living just to see them grow up and die, and then see their kids do the same process? I don't think a lot of us would want that. And at some point, you're just like, you know what? I don't want to be part of this world. Like I had my time period. The world don't need me to be around anymore. I'm okay with that. I get recommended getting a dog that'll help you mental health. Absolutely, which is why I kind of want to go for a rescue dog than a buy dog. Yeah, that's my plan. So you would have one Bat family represent Earth in the Mortal Kombat tournament. Who would I pick? I would go with Dick Grayson. I don't want to waste Bruce Willis. I don't want to waste Bruce. Hey Brian, what are my thoughts on Rush Hour Trilogy? I think it's fine. I'm not sure if they should do a fourth one. I'm not sure if that's still happening, but I liked it. My favorite of the three would be the second one, but heck, I like all three Rush Hour films. I think that Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan are a great pair up. With the amount of exploration Nathan Drake went through, do you think he would make a good history teacher? Absolutely. He would make a great history teacher, much like Indiana Jones is an archaeologist. Speaking of immortality, have I seen the movie Green Mile? Yes, I have seen it, and I thought it was okay. Yep, believe me, I got plans. You got plans. You got plans. What are my thoughts on each Predator movie having a different protagonist and taking place in a different? Well, it keeps it kind of fresh. You get to see different Predators. You get to see how people take them down at different times. Like, I'm okay with that, unless as long as that each one is different and unique. Which, as far as I'm concerned, they all have been. So, yeah, I thought that was fine. What are my top 3 favorite Jet Li movies? Oh, that's easy. When he's the lead, okay. Romeo Must Die, Kiss of the Dragon, and Hero. With the one being a honorable mention. So yeah, it would be those 3. Wait, no, I take that back. Romeo Must Die, Kiss of the Dragon, and Unleash. Or as they call it in the UK, Danny the Dog. But they call it Unleashed here, yes. Because I thought he was really good in that. Yes. Damn, but I don't want to take Hero out. Because Hero's really good too. And he was also really good in Fearless. Damn, that's tough. I want to do top 5 of that. Damn, that's tough. There's some really good ones. And I also loved his video game, Rise to Honor. Not a lot of people talk about that. That was a great game. I would love to stream that. I need to go to a retro store and see if I can find a copy of that. Or maybe get a copy on eBay. Rise to Honor was awesome. Sorry, I got stuck on my own thoughts. You think Nightwing could handle some of the fighters like Katana and Shao Kahn? Yeah, I think he could. Would I like to be a bodybuilder? No, I would like to get in shape and not be a bodybuilder. What is my favorite thing to get on Pizza Hut? My favorite would be stuffed crust. Mine would be pineapple and ham, with the crust being pan. That's my favorite type of pizza. Who is my favorite action star? Ooh, damn, that's tough. Keanu Reeves? Now. It was Will Smith in the 90s. But I'm not a fan of Will Smith now. But I would say right now Keanu Reeves. Yes. Before John Wick, I'm saying. I didn't suddenly become a fan of his because of John Wick. I was a fan of him before John Wick. I thought he was really great. The idea of anti-rocophobia, sentiments, hellbounds would be out of place for Devil May Cry. It might be out of place, but heck, that world is crazy. You can see all kind of crazy things. Do I have a favorite true crime YouTuber or novelist? No, I do not, unfortunately. Do I still play Just Dance? Yes, from time to time. I still have my remotes that need to be charged every once in a while, but yeah, every once in a while. I've been thinking about trying to find a PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3 dance pad. And me and my brother were playing some Guitar Hero while we were at Dave & Buster's, and I'm still pretty good at that too. I'm still pretty good at rhythm games, and trust me, whenever I go out, if I ever see a DDR machine, I'm rocking the hell out of that. I'm almost unstoppable. Do I think a spin-off Devil May Cry game starring Lucia would be decent? I think a spin-off game involving Virgil or Sparta is what we need. I don't think people remember Lucia. Like, Lucia actually popped up in like a novel story, like a story, like a comic book story, like around the time of Devil May Cry 4. So she did pop up again. But yeah, I think a game involving Virgil or Sparta is exactly what we need. No doubt. What video game do I think would make a good movie with the right director? BioShock. If you can find the right director for that, BioShock would make an incredible film. Do you think Kaiba could handle the Kizu in Duel's Back Roses? Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the problem with comparing those type of characters. It's like, is it really fair to put old school duels against duels that use synchro summons? I mean, you have to think about it. A lot of monsters back in those days weren't special, and he doesn't have an archetype deck. And when you come to the synchro era, everyone is using tuners, and that's kind of the challenge. Is like, I don't really think even Yugi Moto would do very well in modern dueling. He would not. That deck is not built to take on meta decks or archetype. And that's something that I've sadly had to adjust to. Like now, instead of like building decks how I would have liked to, each deck is a type of archetype. And I have multiple different archetype decks. And now I see the benefit of having one type of card focused around an archetype that builds off each other. Instead of having just a random collection instead of how I used to build decks. Old school style. So no, I don't really think a duel like that is fair, to be honest. The game would be just way too different, and I really think that there's a limit to how far the old school style of dueling could compete with modern meta dueling. There's a limit, and it's not even due to skill. It's logistics. It's like, it's not that Kaiba couldn't win, is that he just logistically would not have the cards to actually compete or fight back. He has no. He would not have. He just doesn't have that. That's not how he builds decks. I mean, what is the point of summoning? What is the point of summoning a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon if you know it can be destroyed by like a fissure? Which is crazy to think about that. Like, literally, if that is the only thing on your field and someone places fissure, guess what? You just spent all those resources on a vanilla card that had no protection. And that's the thing. Now, to be fair, I think maybe 2 or 3 years ago, they did a live action duel reading at one of the Yu-Gi-Oh! World tournaments, and they updated their decks to the point where Yugi was using Xyz and Kaiba was using Synchros. Those type, like, if they updated their decks to that, then okay, maybe. But if we're talking like old school style, then yeah, they wouldn't last. God, you guys' questions throw me off. Oh, damn. Man, it's already almost been an hour. Okay, I gotta rapid fire these questions. Okay, so, yeah, I gotta rapid fire them. Alright, would I rather live in pre-modern era, modern era, or the future? I'd stay where I am right now. Trust me, any time before 1960 was not good for a black man in this country. It was not a good place to be. And in the future, who knows? Maybe Trump will get reelected and get us all nuked or something. So the future don't sound too great either. So I'll stick to where I am now. Is there anyone else other than Wonder Woman I think will make a better villain than a hero? Not that I can think off the top of my head, but I'm sure there are some. Thoughts on Mortal Kombat 1 might be getting it because Omni-Man and Homelander? Yeah, go ahead. I'm not sure when those DLC characters will be released, but I'll definitely test them out when they do. Because I definitely want to play as Takeda. I'm a big fan of Takeda. I want to be good with that character no matter how hard it is going to be, but yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be out of place for Devil May Cry. Oh yeah, you're probably right. Which character would you side with more, Daredevil or Punisher? Oh, that famous conversation. They're both right. They're both right in this sense. It's like Daredevil thinks that some people can be saved and so all life should be valued. Punisher believes, yeah, there are some people that are just so evil you just have to kill them. They're both right. Like, there's definitely some people in history that, yeah, kill that person would do a lot of good. And some people that I think can be rehabilitated. So they're both right in my case. It just depends on the situation. If Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 4 was made, would I see it? Yes, I would. As long as it had nothing to do with Tom Holland, yes, I would go see it. I would see it day one. I would go to midnight release. I would see multiple times. Next week, we might be getting a trailer for DMC anime. Any hopes? Heck, I just hope it's good. Who do I think would be the best director to direct Bioshock? Uh, Jeez. I don't know. Because I think. I don't know. I really don't. Because the directors I would pick, I don't think that's something they would be interested into. And so you would probably get some obscure director that no one's heard of, but like, it's if you don't get the right, it's like it all deals with budget. Something like Bioshock would have a major budget, and in order to get that major budget, you need a very high class director who can get it done. The problem is that the directors I have in mind, I do not believe they would be interested in making a film like that, and so you would never get the right director for that film, and you wouldn't get the budget you need. And on top of that, I'm not sure Bioshock is a popular enough franchise that it would make its money back. Like if you go out in the street and you ask 10 people if they know what Bioshock is, odds are they won't be able to tell you. So it's very much appropriate to pick a franchise that a lot of people like, which is a fair assessment as for why something like Barbie or Mario was so successful. Is that even if you don't play Mario, you know who Mario is. Mario is the most popular video game character in video game history. That is not even up for debate. And Barbie has been around for decades, so everyone knows who that is. But Bioshock, no one outside the gaming community knows what that is, and that is the challenge. Am I going to watch Death Battle Cole vs. Alex? Yeah, I'll probably end up seeing it. Read zombie survival guides? No, because zombies don't exist. What is my opinion on modern superhero films, and am I feeling the superhero film fatigue? Buddy, I have not. Dear God, I can't even remember I think the last. I don't watch superhero films anymore. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, I think the last one I saw was maybe Matt Reeves' Batman, and that was about it. But, like, anything past, like, in terms of Marvel, I have not watched a Marvel film since Infinity War. Like, I still have, like, Infinity War was the last Marvel film I've seen. Anything past that, I have not seen. So, I did not see Endgame. I did not see whatever Spider-Man movie came out. I didn't see anything past that. And I haven't even seen the shows. I'm done with Marvel. Like, once I saw Infinity War, I knew how Endgame had to play out. I knew exactly what had to happen, how it was going to play out. And without seeing it, I was proven 100% right. I asked my friends that did see it, it's like, what happens? It's like, oh, Brian, this is what happens. Like, you know what? From the second I saw that ending of Infinity War, I knew exactly how it was going to play out. It was predictable. It was like, it played out exactly as I knew it was going to. And once I predicted that, nothing after that was going to entertain me. Synchro Monsters and old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Are comparing to a flip phone to an iPad. You're probably, yeah, I would say that. Yeah. What is my favorite part of the campaign of Metal Gear 1, of MK1? I like the differences in terms of how, like, kind of like Jabba characters have been switched and have been given a lot more presence. Like, I really like what they've done with Melina. I really like a lot of characters that typically are like side characters or throwaway characters. I like how they're given more depth. So I really love what they did with Baraka. I really love what they did with Melina. I really love what they did with Kenshi. I really love what they did with Reptile. I really did what they did with Ashura. And Liu Kang, I would even say Liu Kang to me is a better Guardian of Earth than Raiden ever was, in terms of how he presents himself. So far so that, like, moving forward, like, for, like, I would even say, like, the next 4 Mortal Kombats, I don't want Raiden to become the god anymore. I think the way they presented him in this game was perfectly fine. I think Liu Kang is a better defender of Earthrealm than Raiden was. So I'm stuck with that. And they even said that there might be, like, there's something up with how Liu Kang is, that he might not be able to go back to being that. And if they don't do that anymore, I'm perfectly fine with that. I love that, because I love Liu Kang as he is right now. This is the best version of Liu Kang we've ever had, and he's finally getting the main character attention that he should be. Liu Kang should be the face of Mortal Kombat, not Scorpion. Scorpion's great. Scorpion's cool. He will always be my favorite, but Liu Kang is the main character of Mortal Kombat. Just like Ryu is the main character of Street Fighter. And they should be the lead. They should be the focus. And they have finally done that. We've needed that for decades. I'm sorry about that. You guys have such great characters. It gets me going, and then the questions start building up, and we end up going past the time period. So yeah, I got to rapid fire these questions. Do you hate remakes and sequels? No, I don't hate remakes and sequels if they're done right. If they're done right, then I'll support them till the cows come home. What is my favorite gun in all of gaming? The Patriot from Metal Gear Solid 3, easily. If Final Fantasy VII were remade in the exact same way to the other games and changed its gameplay, would I still play it? Probably not. Probably not. To make it two of us, except I have Infinity War spoiled for me and I lost all interest. Understandable. I like how creative and stylish you get with your game reviews. In your Kingdom Hearts review, you had a Keyblade with you, and your Persona 5, you were wearing the Joker mask. Yeah, I wish I could do that more. I wish I could get reviews out faster. I just don't know how to get review copies, and so I have to wait till I actually buy the game, or wait till GameFly sends me my copy like a day or two after the game gets it released. And by that time, like, most of the reviews are already come out. But I appreciate that. Have I heard about Cloud? Never mind. It's okay. Oh, it's over your head. That's funny. Atem beat Akiza easily because he would draw what he needs. Okay, here's the problem with that. That can be used against you as shown in the last duel with Yugi. I still, to this day, have not seen that duel from beginning to end. So I don't know what happens in there. But Yugi used that knowledge against Atem. And Kaiba could do that too. If Atem could draw any card he wants at any time, if you know him well enough, you can predict his moves and use that against him, which is what Yugi did. Atem drew out Monster Reborn, which Yugi knew if he was in this situation, this is the card he would want at this time, and that's what he drew. So that can work against you against a duelist that knows you in and out. But again, against a duelist that you're not facing for the first time, that would make you pretty much unbeatable. I miss Hanzo as Scorpion. Well, they kind of revealed that Hanzo is there. So I'm curious how they're going to present him in the next game. But he is there. What is my favorite video that I've uploaded this year? Probably my Dead Space video. Because that's the one that's gotten the most views, so I'd have to go with that one. My favorite is Palace theme from Persona 5. I'm not sure, but I'm really not sure. I can't think of one at the moment. The only thing about Mortal Kombat 1 I didn't like is what they did with Baraka's people, if you know what I mean. I didn't mind that. That instead of making Tarkatans a race of people, it's a disease. I didn't mind that. I didn't mind that at all, because it was now a sickness. And it would kind of progressively cause you to become more and more insane, which explains how Mileena might have gotten it. We don't know exactly how she got it, but now it's a sickness. I didn't mind changes like that, because you still got to where they were. It was just a different path. But you still ended up getting Tarkons. It was just different. Hey man, enjoy your channel. Quick question. Do you think Delsin could beat all the conduits from Infamous 1? Maybe. Yeah, I think he could. Yeah. I would say Delsin could handle it. Yeah, I think so. Medras Palace's theme. Liu Kang is my new favorite. Okay, so we finally got all the questions. All right, so I got to cut it there. I want to thank you guys for making this episode extra special. You think they might find a cure for Mileena? Perhaps. Okay, I'm going to cut it there. I'm going to try to get some more videos out roughly around next Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. That's when the videos should come out. I absolutely should have my Mortal Kombat review up by that point, and we'll be sure to do another live stream next Wednesday at 2 p.m. like always. And I want to thank you guys for watching, for awesome questions and making them awesome. And remember, if you guys have any ideas, any ideas for future videos, please send them to me. I like keeping myself busy. I don't like just coming at 2 in the morning, playing video games, sleeping for 6-8 hours, waking up at noon or 2 o'clock in the morning and not having enough time to film anything. Any ideas I will do as long as they fit and it's something that people wouldn't want to watch. You guys know where to send them to me in a comment, send them to my Twitter, or just any way you can. I will write down the ideas and I will be sure to give you a shout out at the beginning of the film. I like keeping myself busy. That's how I like to conduct my life. So again, I want to thank all of you guys for coming. You guys are awesome, and I'll catch you guys next week.